Hi, I'm Ryan. As you probably already know, I coach social skills, including things like how to overcome nervous social situations, how to not run out of things to say, how to persuade someone, how to be funny, how to flirt. Right now, I'm going to go through an exercise that you can practice on your own. I'd highly recommend practicing these exercises. They tend to be the most useful part of the coaching, okay, that we do. So in our one-to-one coaching, we do usually explain the theory of how this part works. Exercise you can practice on your own, which is what I'm giving you now. And then if we can meet in person, then we do a practical part, which involves trying it out on real people. But this part of exercises tends to help people the most and be the most popular. So this exercise today is about how to transition smoothly between one topic and another topic. So this is useful because you might be in a conversation talking about something and you want to move the conversation onto another thing. And that might be for several reasons, right? So maybe you think that topic is a good topic for the conversation that everyone's gonna like, or you need to bring it up to ask like a specific question, or maybe you're trying to sell something or convince someone of something. It's quite useful for persuasion bits as well, because you can relate the conversation to whatever you're trying to persuade them to do, if you're good enough. With this exercise, I've got 2 aims and 2 rules, okay? So first of all, I'll give you an example. So if I went from table to houseplant, I could say that tables are often made of wood, which comes from trees, which is obviously a plant, just like that houseplant. So I made a fairly smooth and fast transition from that topic to that topic. So here's the 2 rules and 2 aims. Rule number 1 is you have to go, I always have to repeat this to people, I don't know why. You have to go from the first one to the second one. Because in real life, what happens is you're in the present and you're gonna get something in the future. You can't be in the future and get something in the present, can you? Because otherwise you have to warp time. So you have to do topic A and then get to topic B. Do not reverse it, because it's not very helpful then. Then also, don't make anything up. Don't make up random stuff that didn't happen to solve the puzzle. So if you're making up like a made up story so that you can get from, I don't know, sharks to polar bears or something, then that's not very helpful, because it makes it too easy and unrealistic. You're not going to be in social situations just like making up random stuff to transition, unless you're mental. So those are the 2 rules. Here are the 2 aims. 1 is we want it to be as concise as possible. We want to get from part A, topic A, to topic B with the least content and the least time as possible. 2 is we want it to be smooth. So here's what smooth actually means. People talk about being smooth and stuff a lot. So being smooth basically just means that you're going from point 1 to point 100 in smaller steps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. rather than 1, 50, 100. So here's 2 examples of being smooth, right? So the first one in flirting, so the main part people use the word smooth. In scenario A, we've got one person on a date with another person. One person, or both people perhaps, want to make it physical, but they've got a table in between and they don't do any touching. And then at the end of the day, one person like lunges at the other person to try and kiss them. Almost definitely going to be awkward, right? And not that good and not smooth. If instead they were sat a bit closer and it was touching on the arm while they're talking and making jokes, and then like one of them puts their arm around the other one to point at something, and then like they're hugging as well, and then they kiss, that's way more smooth, okay? So it's just smaller steps from point 1 to point 2. Another example, not from flirting. If I went outside right now and someone was walking down the street and I said, "Hey, I'm Ryan, nice to meet you," and just stuck my hand up for them to shake, more than likely they're gonna want to leave the interaction, or perhaps even ignore me or say I'm not interested or something. It's too much, too early. If instead of that, I'm stood nearby them at a bus stop or something, and then I make eye contact, I smile, then I ask a question, make a comment on something, start talking, and then I have to put my hand up for them to shake, it's going to be successful and not generate negative emotions or negative awkwardness most of the time. So that's being smooth, right? So here's an example, 2 examples of how to do this exercise badly. So if I went from footballers to aeroplanes, I said footballers have to move around a lot, just like aeroplanes, they move around a lot too. Or if I went from this chair to the country Mexico, I said this chair's on the ground, just like Mexico, that's also on the ground. So lots of the time people find that funny, and a lot of the time social skills done wrong can be pretty funny, right? And you can make use of that as a bit more of like an advanced thing to do. You definitely don't want to practice it at a more basic level if you're just learning this just to start off with. But the reason why that's not smooth is because both of the links I put between the 2 apply to too much other stuff. Loads of things move around and pretty much everything's on the ground. So that's a good rhyme there. One way that you can do this exercise better is you want to find a common attribute between the two things that applies to less other stuff. Aliens and Darth Vader are both in sci-fi. So that doesn't apply to anywhere near as much stuff as being on the ground, does it? So that's what you're going to try and do. And there's an earlier exercise, I don't know what order I'm posting this in yet, but there's another exercise I have called related topics, where you generate relevant stuff to a current topic. So you can use that in combination with this. So if you think of something that's what's relevant to one thing and another. So if we take like, I don't know, cat and clouds. So you can think like what's relevant to them. So one thing is that they're both fluffy, right? So I might be able to make a connection like that. So you can say like, that cat is so fluffy, I could, if it was white or grey, I might mistake it for a cloud. There we go. And also what you can do is, this is the slowest way, but the way that is definitely going to solve it, no matter how bad you are at this. You'll definitely be able to do it. Might take you like 10 minutes even, but you'll definitely be able to do it, and you can improve your speed over time. So you do the related topics exercise, which if you haven't seen that, is just that you have a related topic, you have a one topic and you figure out stuff that's relevant to it. So for example, school, what's relevant to school? You got homework, Harry Potter, because I went to Hogwarts, School of Fish, alternate definition, pencils, detention, stuff like that, right? Then you can make a tree, and we'll add a diagram here because it's a bit hard to explain with words clearly. But basically you just make like a web/tree where you've got the first topic, you generate a few relevant options, and then you generate relevant options to those, and then you make a web. And if you do that from topic A, make a web, and topic B, make a web, that you're guaranteed to find some kind of connection at some point. And then you just need to finish it by having something that you say, right? So remember, this is something that we're practicing for use in actual conversation. If in a conversation, another thing you need to do with this exercise is think, would it sound weird or like I was really forcing that topic to be brought up? Because if, say the example I gave about the chair in Mexico, right? That would definitely sound really strange if I just said that out of nowhere when we're talking about chairs. If I was trying to sell chairs or a holiday to Mexico, whatever way around it was done, then it would make me look like I don't care about the conversation. I'm just trying really hard to sell them something. So if you're trying to persuade someone and use this persuasion, it could be really like counterproductive to make it not smooth enough. So what you want to do is imagine you're in a group conversation about that first topic. Someone else says what you have written out or planned. How do you feel? Would you think that was strange? Or would you think they really want to bring that up? Like, what are they planning or something? You shouldn't be focusing on the transition. The same way a good camera person filming like a movie or whatever, you shouldn't really be focusing on the camera work. You should be focusing on the content. Same here. When you do this well, people won't even think about the transition. They'll just be talking about the next topic now. And then you can like really smoothly like change the direction of a conversation. No one even knows you've done it. It could be really powerful. So yeah, you can do the two webs from either side. That's the slowest, but for the way you'll definitely be able to do it. You might have to write it out and everything. So as with all these exercises, practice it written first, okay? And you can generate random topics. You can use a random word generator on an app store or a search engine. You can use your own imagination to generate random topics, right? So you might be able to do something like watch a movie, or watch like loads of like random clips on YouTube, and it can give you just different like stimulus or different points, topics and stuff. Or you can just think of stuff, or you can choose ones on purpose just because you want to, or you might even have like a specific topic that you're trying to lead on to for some reason. So obviously I do social skills coaching, and I have more earlier when I started doing my business, directly sold to people loads. And then obviously I studied persuasion, so I know how to do that really well in an ethical way, of course, which is that you only persuade someone to do something that you honestly think is good for them. Yeah, I know loads of routes to relate stuff to social skills coaching and how it can help people. So if you've got something you're trying to persuade people of, it can be useful to like specifically target that topic and like choose a bunch of topics and try and get it to the thing you're trying to persuade people from random topics. Yeah, so you write down two pairs, right? So a pair of topics each time. Topic A, topic B. Topic A, topic B. And then you construct a sentence, perhaps a few sentences, where you transition from one to the other. And you want it to be smooth and concise. And you want to not time travel and go from topic A to topic B, and don't make anything up, because it makes things too easy and not very helpful. However, sometimes you can use stuff that is made up to make up something that's not made up. So here's what I mean. So if we went from mud to the zoo, and I said like, mud gets everywhere on my carpet because I went to the zoo yesterday, but I didn't go to the zoo, then now I'm making stuff up. But I can use a hypothetical situation instead. So I can say mud is something like can get all over your carpet and like can ruin your carpet. If you do something, you go to somewhere muddy, like sometimes the zoo could be pretty muddy. So I haven't said that I've gone to a zoo and lied there. I just said like, first what could happen. So that's how you can use something. Sometimes you can use made up stuff to help you think. Another thing you can do, kind of similar to the web, but not as slow, which also means it's not as total. Like if you're not as good, it might not work. But you can ask for questions that start with the following words about the topic. So what, when, who, how, which, why, and where. Ask questions about the topic, right? So we've got like circuses. Where are they? What do they do? Why do people go? And then you can often like find like routes, and you can ask for the same on the other side. So yeah, ideally, as with all these exercises, you want to get to the point where you are able to just do it most of the time. This exercise, by the way, I have to note, can be actually really challenging depending on what two topics there are. There's some examples that are like actually really hard. There's also some that are really easy. Like if I said like the color green to grass, pretty much everyone's going to be able to do that, right? So it can range from like really easy to actually like really challenging, this one. Whereas for related topics exercise I just described, and I have another video on, which you should have got or be getting, is generally not too difficult. So yeah, but as with all these exercises, you want to get to a stage where you can just do it. And that happens because it changes the neurons in your brain. Same way you can change your body through exercise, neuroplasticity, you can look that up, means that your neurons change based on things you're thinking consistently. So remember, this exercise and all the exercises can be actually used in social situations, but they're also useful for training your thinking, which then starts to help in areas outside of the exercise as well. Because if you're good at finding routes, it also like is sort of indirectly beneficial to loads of other stuff, whether that's humor, flirting, dealing with arguments or whatever. So yeah, this is a really good one to practice. Another variation that you can do is you can just have more than two. So you can have like topic 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. I think after you get to like 4 or 5, it starts to not really have much benefit. You can do it like just for fun if you want, of course. So yeah, practice this. As for all the exercises, I recommend 5 minutes or more per day. Pretty much everyone has time for 5 minutes. And if you do 5 minutes, like let's do more, then you can choose to if you have the time. Also, it's good to do in spare pockets of time, right? So if you're doing nothing, like waiting for a dentist or something, or you're on a train and you haven't got nothing to do, then you can do it better in your head. Or even better still, teach someone you know and do it together. That's probably the best option if possible. Check out my course on how to never run out of things to say in conversation. It has this exercise, plus all of my stuff on how to never run out of things to say. If you run out of things to say in conversation, and you obviously watch it and do the stuff that it says, you will definitely solve that, but pretty much completely forever. It will also help you if you have conversations but not that interesting, and you want to make your conversation more engaging, you feel like you're boring or whatever, definitely help with that as well. And if you're nervous in social situations, it'll definitely help with that. If one of those 3 things applies to you, it's 100% worthwhile. It's worth way more than what it costs. I can always solve this stuff for people every time, honestly. Anyone who listens, I can get to the point from any point where they run out of things to say consistently, to the point where they pretty much never again run out of things to say in their lives, between 15 and 30 hours, depending on where they start total. This course has all of my stuff on it, how to practice it on your own and everything. Also, you can book a one-to-one trial session, free trial, for half an hour or more with one of our coaches, possibly even me. And you'll be able to tell us what you want to work on, and we'll help you as an individual. You might have some specific stuff that is less general when it applies to you, or like a certain situation with a certain person that you want to cover. And we have a WhatsApp chat, so you can discuss social skills on it, ask questions. I'm on there, I post stuff, and you can answer people's questions. Join that as well. I've got other courses, including one on 100 signs to know how someone likes you. So check that all out. It's on the links, and I'll see you guys soon for more social skills exercises. Stay tuned. Ryan Williams, Social Shortcuts. I've coached social skills for over 10 years now, full time. I've got a team of other social skills coaches working with me. We offer one-to-one coaching tailored to the individual, including a completely free trial session.
doesn't cost you anything, it's free. So this will be at least half an hour, and we'll ask you a few questions beforehand so we can better prepare to help you more. And it'll be tailored to you as an individual, and we'll be helping you with what you want to work on. If you want to book one, I think it's a good idea. If you want to work on your social skills and you have a half an hour free, then I think it's a good idea because it's free and it's half an hour and really good. So the link below is the link to our website. Just click that and go to book a free trial. It should be right on the home page. I think it's a green button, okay, or orange one, can't remember. So click the link below if you want to do that, and then go to book a free trial. Then you will receive a message, start communication a little bit, book a time, and then you'll do a free trial session of coaching. Check it out, link below.